that is really hard.
Um, just waste your time.
Yeah,
The feeling is like that.
exactly. It's like you've spent your time working on it, and then eventually they will ask you to change the game. So, what do you feel about it? If let's say you've
I would rather be the user than me because I can just give some engineer my request and they will do it for me and then I can change it uh, whenever I want because yeah I want this I want that so I just need to request them
uh-huh.
to do it.
Exactly. Wow. Well, that's actually part of our job.
It is.
Part of our job, part of our life, and it's how you get paid for.
Yeah, that's that's why I'm still doing it. It's because I need to earn to feed myself.
Yeah, it's like our life is actually tied to it.
Yeah, but but I think like many foreigners,
Mm-hmm.
especially in Western countries, they seem uh, to have no job and they can travel around the world. Yeah, because you can see many foreigners in some kind of famous island, and they will spend uh, more than 10 days or even a month
Mm-hmm.
to have vacation there. But it's hard to happen in for me because I need to work. I don't have that much vacations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
that's the difference I think.
I see. Well, I think they're actually maybe they're already born rich. They're born with a silver spoon in their mouth.
Yeah.
That's why they have money, to spend. Or
Mm.
their company or their job is actually a high paying job, maybe. They could earn more and they
Yeah.
can spend more or they could enjoy a luxurious vacation.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I agree with you when you say there are a lot of foreigners on famous islands or even famous countries
Yeah.
because, of course, whenever you travel, you really have money.
Mm.
Even here in the Philippines, most foreigners are actually very rich.
Mm.
But of course, there are some, or there are just a few, that are, who turns out to be poor, or um, maybe they're trying their luck as well. Trying to, they're thinking that they could get richer if they went here in the Philippines or
Uh-huh.
whatnot, but eventually it's the other way around. Or it's a possibility that there are Filipino people who tend to, um, I'm not saying that all, but there are Filipino people that they take advantage of these foreigners, something like that. So,
Mm.
so but like I've said, normally that I know are actually very rich, and some of them are actually parents of my students before.
Mm.
Yeah, so something.
Yeah.
I think you're very too serious in life, also, Sean. Okay,
Why? Why
there.
do you say that?
Well, it's just that every time that I asked you, how's your day? Um, it's it's like you're very into focus to your work,
but but the reason why is from Monday to Friday, only thing I do is to work. Because after work, I just go back to my dorm and maybe have my dinner with some kind of videos from YouTube or American series, and then I might have class and have conversation with my girlfriends, and basically that's my whole day.
Okay, nothing fancy, nothing adventurous. Okay.
Yeah, I only go outside or go go to do different things on weekends.
I see. Don't take life too seriously.
I know.
It's just that, yeah, well, that's what I can remember. Because I'm not saying that I'm comparing you with some of my students. It's just that,
Mm.
yeah, you're just into, into focus into your career, to your job, there. Okay, so just to enlighten the mood, to make you feel a little bit, uh, uh, how do you call this? Feel a bit relaxed since you're tired from work. Did you
Uh-huh.
prepare a joke?
Oh, I do have a short one.
Wow, you're prepared. Okay.
So there is a man.
Uh huh.
He was really lonely. So one day he posted an ad on a popular website, and the ad said "wife wanted."
Okay.
Simple, just two words. Wife wanted.
Okay, hold on a
Uh,
sec. So you
okay.
said aid,
Yeah.
AD.
Advertisement. Ad.
It's actually ad.
Ad.
Yeah, ad.
Ad. Okay.
Okay.
Ad.
Okay.
And then uh, next morning he was surprised because he found he had over 100 replies in his inbox.
Ooh, okay.
Well, but unfortunately, all the replies all say the same thing. You can have mine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's done.
You can have mine.
Yeah, it
Mine.
yeah, it means all the men want to give their wife to the lonely man.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. So you're saying, I'm sorry, I'm too slow there to catch the joke. Okay, so all those persons who send an email are actually married. Married.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I also think for a moment to what happened.
Okay, yeah, I was able to catch it. So they're saying
Yeah.
that they don't like.
Yeah.
Okay, that's so funny. It's just I'm a bit slow to catch the joke, so there. Okay, that's good. That made my day. Alrighty. Okay. So let me ask, where do you get your jokes?
I just Google it and I try to find some uh, easy easy jokes of them.
Okay. For just random jokes online. Okay.
Yeah.
That's funny. What if my husband also sent an email to that?
I doubt
I'm
it.
gonna kill him.
Yeah, of course
What
I
if,
will.
um, let's say the other way around? Let's say a wife or a lady, let's say, will will post an ad,
Mm.
um, wanted for a husband. looking for a husband.
Well, I think she won't get replies from
Wow.
other women,
Okay.
but there will be many
Mm-hmm.
men come to her
Mm,
actively.
nice idea. I agree. So, so you're saying here, men are more proactive, and
Yeah.
to give away their wife, unlike for wife. Okay, already get that.
Mm.
Okay, already. So nice work. You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Alrighty. Now let's go ahead and go now with our book. So basically, we will gonna go ahead and discuss the what do you call this? It's the engineering book. Okay. Now we are currently already on the very last page of her book. Well,
Mm.
as of now, I haven't received any reply from Michelle. I think she's still gonna look for a better book for you. Well, anyways, we still have
Mm-hmm.
Thursday. Oh no, Wednesday. That's gonna be for the TV series, and then, um, well, she still
Yeah.
have almost a week to look for it. Yes,
Yeah.
prepare.
So,
Alrighty. Okay, so we're good with this is on 14C. Now let's go now to 14D. We're done. Next, 14E. Yeah.
yeah, in pairs. Practice explaining the technical terms in exercise 15A using the simplified words and phrases in exercise 15D.
Okay, 15A. Okay. Wow, we're actually going that. So this is actually it's actually the tour of Richard. So this is actually from the
Mhm.
recording. But let me see here. Hold on a second.
Okay.
I think we've already discussed this, right? 15A. Yeah, we've already been
Yeah.
discussing this simplified words. However, what we missed here is that we did not use the words from uh, D. Yeah, which are the
50D.
simplifying the language. So the words and phrases on the box here, or on the
Yeah.
their words and phrases. So basically, here I'm using the word basically. We will just try to. Um, it's like we're trying to make sentences. Yeah, using
Okay.
the words from 15A. So we have. Let's start with. This is under substructure. So we have file foundations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
From 15A. Okay.
Yes, so we have the file foundation, so that's actually in general. Board in situ concrete piles, precast driven concrete piles, pile driver, pile ochre, and bentonite. Alrighty,
Yeah.
so Okay, so let's start with tile foundations.
Well, so I need to make a
Yes.
sentence of pile foundations.
So it's like you need to add the words and phrases. In from 15B.
From.
So
Okay.
what we're gonna do here is that we will just try to compose or construct 4 sentences. So you can just go ahead and choose any of the words from 15A and try to use the words and phrases, the simplifying words. So, for example,
Okay.
So if you imagine how a pile ogre looks like, it can be an amazing feeling, something like that. So a pile ogre is actually a giant screwdriver.
Huh?
So I'm using the if you imagine. So I'm trying to illustrate the pile ogre.
Oh, okay. So where should
You
I
can type
type
it here on letter E. Here.
Okay.
Well, just a quick question, Sean. Can you use your can
Yeah.
you imagine? Can is it can or if? Oh, sorry. If you imagine.
Oh, if you imagine.
Well, can is actually different from if. The meaning would be different. Well, it's if you imagine. Okay. Okay, that's it. Just four. So for
Okay.
sentence number one is the word basically. Yeah, can you go ahead and read it?
Basically, Pile's foundation is the first thing to do to build before
Okay.
others.
Next.
Refer to poured in situ concrete piles. You need to use a machine that's like a giant
That is.
screwdriver. Oh, that
Yes,
is.
yes, yes. Okay. Next.
If you imagine that there are no precast-driven concrete piles for the construction, it would be more difficult. Pile auger could be simply explained as a giant screwdriver.
Simple. Alright. Okay, good. Wow. You're definitely improving a lot. Alright. Good, good. Job well done for this. Alright, next. Can you read this, Sean?
Read the textbook description of two types of pile foundation. Use the words and phrases in exercise 15D and the following notes to rephrase it.
Okay. So let's go ahead and read it first. Can you read this?
Like standing on
Stilts.
in water. Stilts.
Any unfamiliar words?
Yeah,
Stilts. Okay.
that one.
Let me just go ahead and add the definition. Well, I'm actually thinking. Well, just have a quick question, Sean.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
For some people, they actually earn more if they, let's say, try to work on a different country. How about you? Do you have any? Are you thinking or planning to maybe go to Western country?
Well, not for now, because I need to take care of my parents, even they are still wealthy. But once I go abroad for work, it would be hard to back to my country because the salary is totally different.
What do you mean totally different?
Because I mean, if I work in China, for example, I would get higher pay
Right.
than my current job. And once you have
Mm-hmm.
that high salary, it's hard to go back to have lower salary.
Well, yeah, because of course I'm already used to, you know, having a higher pay. So are you saying here is that, for example,
Yeah,
you have done working in China and you will go back to Taiwan? Is that what you're thinking? Oh, I see.
yeah, yeah. And besides, um, once you go abroad for work, um, it's not help to it won't help you to get higher pay in Taiwan. You might need to keep working abroad.
Right. But there are actually a lot of foreigners, or for me, there are actually a lot of Filipinos who are succeeding. They earn more if they actually work abroad.
Yeah, it it will, but it depends on um, how you think your life, how you plan your life.
How about being a you're actually an engineer for for softwares, right? Here in the
Yeah.
Philippines, once you're actually a software engineer and you're doing, let's say, websites or softwares for websites, I know there are a few who are very rich here. They're just doing this type of job.
And actually, I do have a friend who is a Taiwanese, and he is working in
Oh,
Philippines.
really?
Yeah.
So how was it?
Uh, wow, he got high pay. The company he stayed with is one which built gambling
Mm-hmm.
games,
Okay.
gambling machine.
And that's how. So that's what his job here in the
Okay.
Philippines.
Yeah, he helped to design a program for
Okay.
gambling.
Well, well, as long as that particular gambling or site is actually a legit or it doesn't violate any rules here in the Philippines, then it's good. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
that sounds great. So.
yeah, but he is not married yet. But what if he got married? Um, does he need to take his wife or even his children to other countries? Otherwise, he would see his wife and his children maybe once a month
What do you mean?
or
You said
even
he's
once
not
a
yet
year.
married.
Yeah, he's not get married yet, but
Uh
what if
huh.
one day he get married?
But
Um,
when you say one day he will get married, and are you saying he can be Filipino or Taiwanese?
uh,
Well,
his girlfriend is Taiwanese. I mean, he can't stay with his wife every day unless he take his
well,
wife
that's
to
already their
Philippines.
agreement. But her girlfriend, or his girlfriend, I should say, can actually stay here in the Philippines. But of course, there are I'm not actually familiar when it comes to paperwork if you're a foreigner and working here in the Philippines. Um, but like I've said, I have students whose parents are actually foreigners. One of them is actually an Irish. Yeah, and he is married to a Filipino. So there they could actually stay here here in the Philippines. And it's easy actually to go here in the Philippines because they don't require any visa. Unlike going to America or Canada, you actually need visa, right? Even in Japan, you actually need visa to go there. Even your country, it's just for a couple of months when they declare that. I think that was October of last year. Now I'm not particular on what month when Taiwan actually mentioned that they can actually go to Taiwan without any visa. So I have a lot of friends who went to Taiwan or to Taipei just to to have a vacation. And my sister actually informed my parents to go there also, or to go there in Taiwan. It's just that they have my mom having a problem with her birth certificate, so there she wasn't able to go to Taiwan. And that offer is only, I think it's up until June or July, I think. And then after July, then Taiwan will require visa again if you will want to go to your country. Have you heard about that? You're not aware.
Not really.
Yeah, it's actually my sister informed me. And she's actually asking me also to go there. It's just that I can't because I have kids.
Yeah, once you have your own family, like you have your children, it's harder
It's hard to
go
plan.
abroad.
You can actually go abroad, but it's hard to plan. It's just like, of course, I cannot just bring my children going to Taiwan because they're still very young. I like for my parents, so they can just go ahead and visit Taiwan. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, that's just, I'm just curious about it. And, of course, you have reasons, I know. Alrighty. So, going back.
Word origin. Let's see. One of two poles, each with a support for the foot at some distance above the bottom end. Okay.
So, what we just need to do is to rephrase the words. So this is actually the voice from the setter. So, can you read this? Can you read this part, Shaun?
From a structural perspective, pile foundations can be divided into two categories: end-bearing piles and friction.
So these are the two categories or two types of pile foundation. So it says here, you just need to rephrase these words by using the words and phrases from 15D. So it's actually still the same. You just need to rephrase or insert these words. So I can give you an example. So this is actually I have already rephrased this. So there are two types of pile foundation. So it's the end-bearing piles and friction piles. Essentially, so that's the word that I've used. Essentially, end-bearing piles are used when you have soft ground, which is on the top of hard ground or rock.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually just a continuation. Let me just go ahead and type it in here. And that way we have the guide. Okay.
Okay.
So end bearing piles and friction piles. Okay, there. Can you go ahead and rate it, Shaun?
They, there are types of pile foundation, end-bearing piles and friction piles. Essentially, end-bearing piles are used when you have soft ground which is on top of hard ground or rock. Basically, the piles go through the soft ground and sit on the hard ground
So
below.
there. I just actually copied the words that are, well, just some of it, like this one, soft grounds. So it's merely more on rephrasing. Do you think you'll be able to do that? For me, it's like it's a bit
But
it's a bit you know, for me, I felt it's already a bit hard because it's like they're trying to simplify it using those words also.
yeah, especially I'm not familiar with this kind of words.
Yeah, I agree.
Some sort of
Alrighty, so this
piles.
is what we're gonna do then instead. Just to make our life easier. But at least, our purpose here is to used as a simplified words. Okay, and I'm very positive that definitely you could already use them in sentences. It's just that they're giving us a hard time trying to rephrase this. So for just the sake of practicing purposes, pronunciation, we'll just go ahead and read it. Okay. So what I've put in here is that this is just an example, in order for you to have a guide or a clue of what exactly this part means, this activity. Okay? Alrighty. So can you go ahead and just read the entire part?
From a structural perspective, pile foundations can be divided into two categories: end-bearing piles and friction piles. End-bearing piles are driven or bored through soft ground in order to attain firm substrata below. The pile then transmits load vertically to firm subsoil or bedrock. The soft ground surrounding the side of the pile is structurally redundant. Friction piles counteract downward loads from the structure through frictional resistance between the sides of the pile and the surrounding ground, and do not, therefore, rely on firm substrata. In some cases, the diameter of the uncertain at the pile space is widened. Some cases, the diameter of the concrete at the pile space is widened by compaction, allowing the increased area to give the friction pile a certain degree of end-bearing resistance.
Okay, this is actually concrete.
Okay.
Okay, any unfamiliar words?
Substrata? Is that the English?
Yeah, it is, but
substratum.
it's more of actually an engineering word. Like for health word, it's actually also different. Let's see what's the origin of this word, because there are actually English words that their origin can be Latin, or it can be, so what other words? Latin. I'm not seeing any word for that. We're able to see meaning of substrata. Shaun?
Yeah, substrata is a. Oh, I just searched it. The original one is substratum. It's kind of lower soil. Oh, substratum.
underlying support or foundation. Okay. Okay, so here I've added a definition. So technically it's more of a foundation.
Yeah.
Okay. Aside from
Yeah.
subtract.
Okay. Yeah, counteract. I just
It's actually
searched it.
counteract. Yeah, that's how to pronounce it.
Counteract.
So counteract cases. Then this is pronounced as diameter. Diameter.
Diameter.
It's diameter. Diameter.
Diameter.
Do you know what diameter means?
Yeah, it's like it used to.
It's the one on
size of circle.
in the middle, right? Okay. Then this one,
Yeah.
rely. That's that reply. Rely. Rely on firm substrata or firm foundation. Here. How about rely? Do you know it? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so there. That's it. So technically, what we have here, like standing on stilts in water. Imagine a leg and a foot. And then we have here, imagine water and the seabed. And then like a nail in wood. So these are actually simplified words explaining the end-bearing piles, or I mean the two types of pile foundation. Yeah, so like this one, imagine. So it's like illustrating how it's imagine water and the seabed. Then like a nail in wood. Let me give you another example for that. Okay, so this one, if you picture a nail in a piece of wood, it's the same thing. The nail is gripped by the wood around it. Around. Sometimes the bottom or the bottoms of friction clouds are made wider. Imagine a leg with a foot at the bottom. Can you go ahead and read this part, Shaun?
If you picture a nail in a piece of wood, it's the same thing. The nail is gripped by the wood around it. Sometimes the buttons of friction piles are made wider. Imagine a leg with a foot at the
We're
bottom.
able to
It's
picture or
the same
imagine
principle.
this part. Okay. So this part, it's actually so this is actually of the friction piles. This is more on describing the friction piles. Okay, so we're able to grasp or understand in some way. Yeah, it's actually perfect. I'm nose bleeding again. Trying to, I'm still trying to, of course, I need to research on this also in order for me, to be able to explain it further very well how it's gonna. Yeah, of course, we need to be prepared also. All right. So there. And now, this is the finale of our book. Here, can you read number 17?
You are showing a non-specialist visitor around your company and explaining technical concepts using simplified language. In pairs, practice explaining a product or type of technology.
This is very perfect on your field. All right. So there. Of course, I'm not the software engineer. You're the one who is specializing on that. So it's like they're going to talk as Richard. So you need to simplify words for me also. Alright? So it's more likely I'll be a visitor. So you can try to explain it to me. Your company, so what are the, you could maybe take note of some technical concepts. So like Richard, he has a lot. So we have the words from 15A. So something like that. It's very similar to how Richard, deal with visitors on the site. So there, I'll be your visitor on your company. So how do you feel about it? Are you excited? So there, anyways, you have a lot, a week to prepare for it. So that's gonna be on Monday next week. I'll definitely, I'll wait for this. All right, are we good in this, Shaun?
Okay.
So this is our finale.
Okay, I will try it.
Homework. Okay, so do you have any question for me, Shaun? Alrighty, so we're good for now, and you have a great day.
No?
Well, good night. Bye now.
Thank you. Good night.